Well, thanks guys. Welcome to Austin, Texas. We're here to drive this, the brand new Rolls-Royce Ghost. This is the most technologically advanced Ghost ever, created from what owners wanted to see in their vehicle. Rolls-Royce call it a post-opulent car. We'll find out about that a bit later. So why are we going to talk about the new Rolls-Royce Ghost? Well, I always say if you want to appreciate art, you go to an art gallery to see a Renoir, a Turner or a Monet. You don't have to own them to know that you like them. One of the things you'll notice in the new Ghost is a completely changed and updated magic carpet ride. They even call this a flight on land. Now it has all-wheel steering, so when you're doing curvy roads or freeway driving, you can notice a very different system. It has all-wheel drive, and it also has the planar system. It's a little complicated to explain simply, but what it does is it dampens the dampeners. So it's really noticeable that you're removed from the harshness of the ride. It feels very much like you're in a jet going across the land, which is a very strange way to explain it, but is as close to the truth as I can possibly get. It's interesting when you drive this vehicle. I have no road noise, almost no exterior noise coming into the cabin. And when Rolls-Royce were developing this vehicle, they decided it was too quiet. So all of the aluminum rails, the seats, the trunk, everything became a sound resonance bar. In fact, they make everything have its own vibrating sound to give you a little bit of a presence to know that this vehicle is moving. And that sound changes. Right now, almost nothing as I drive along inside this beautiful housing estate in Austin, Texas. When I get out on the freeway, you can hear sound, but it's sort of one step removed. Not only a very magic carpet ride, but also a quiet carpet. So if you want something as glorious as a Rolls-Royce Ghost, you have to be prepared to pay for it. You're going to pay between $400,000 and $500,000 depending on how many extras you want with your vehicle. Let's talk about exterior design of the new Ghost. The first thing you need to know is the designer, Henry Cloak, is only in his early 30s. So this is a young, fresh, modern design. Rolls-Royce call it post-opulent design, which means they have extracted all of the unnecessary pieces in this car and made it fairly minimalistic. You can still see it's a Ghost by looking at it. It still has the necessary lines to give it that design aspect, but it has that sort of minimalist look about it. Behind the Pantheon grille here, there are embedded lights which actually broadcast a soft Rolls-Royce image at night. The significant thing about the creation of this vehicle is from here all the way through the C-pillar at the back is one single piece of very strong aluminum. There is no weld points on the roof here. And that means that when it's hand welded, all those welds have to be done at the same time. Now, because there's no weld points here and nowhere for the water to run off the roof, there is so many great technologically advanced pieces of design here. This piece of chrome down the side has actually got a channel running at the back of it, and that channels the water off of the roof line, which makes less splash when you're driving. At the back, there's also some advanced design. Look at the proportions of this vehicle. The back is as big as the front. This is equally a driver's and passenger car as well. You'll see a spin on the original Ghost lights here at the back. These are very bright and they're also slightly 3D angled from what you might recognize as an original Ghost taillight. When you get to the trunk, it wouldn't be a Rolls-Royce if you couldn't get your golf clubs or luggage in. There's actually 17.7 cubic feet of space in the back here. On the parcel shelf, that's the shelf behind the rear seats that separates the trunk from the car itself, there is actually acoustic vents to make sure the sound of the trunk resonates perfectly. When you drive this vehicle, it's about not hearing a lot of the noise of the vehicle, as well as hearing harmonized sounds. I can't explain it any better than that, but when you drive it, you feel like you're cocooned, like you're isolated, still with some feedback from the atmosphere outside the car. I could spend hours on the inside of this vehicle talking about how beautiful it is and all the hand-built features. Starlight headliner, which actually has shooting stars in it as well. Doors closed from a button on the side here, so you don't have to be ungentlemanly or unladylike and lean forward as well. Champagne fridge in the back. A lot of open pore wood here. This is post-opulent luxury, so it's very finite. It has a nice table that pops down with the touch of a switch, a television screen which comes out as well on the inside. Of course, the 2-inch lamb's wool carpet as well to make sure you can take your shoes and socks off if you want to be a passenger in the back here. And this is very cool, but it's brand new. They wanted to make it easy to open the door from the back without having to push it all the way out, but they didn't want to put an extra switch in. So when you open the door itself, you can give a second pull to the door handle and it'll open all the way automatically. Up front, there's some very beautiful pieces of art in this vehicle. Above the glove box, this panel here, which looks like it has stars on it, is actually very significant. Every single hole, there's 850 of them, are drilled at different depths, and that's to make it look very much like a star pattern. But there's a little more to it than that. Apart from every 850th hole of this being drilled at a different depth, there's also lenses behind there to make the light refract in different ways before the actual lighting system. Up front, there is also 2 cameras here which scan the road, and that's part of some very technical driving systems. They look for changes in the road surface so they can actually adjust the suspension system to make sure your ride is absolutely perfect. The vehicle also looks at that upcoming road and changes the transmission to be in the right gear for the right road which is oncoming. When it comes to safety, there's never any question about how safe a Rolls-Royce motor car is. This, of course, is lightweight but still strong with the hand-built aluminum body. At the same time, it has all the latest technical safety features, which includes things like pedestrian detection. So what's the competition for the Ghost? Well, if somebody is looking at buying a Ghost, they may also be considering buying a second home or perhaps some kind of boat. But the real challenge for Rolls-Royce is for somebody to spend the time on bespoking their new vehicle, which can take from anywhere from around 2 weeks to 3 years. A newly designed engine under the hood. In case you forget, it's written everywhere. A 6.75 litre V12 here, made at the Rolls-Royce Motor Car Company at Goodwood, England. Here's the interesting thing about this. This actually outputs 563 horsepower and 627 pounds-feet of torque. And if you're unaware of how enormous this is, it's about 4 times that of a regular family car engine. New power that moves this giant piece of luxury. I'm Nick Miles.